child is slowly taken, and the violence causes silence. Who are we mistaken? But you see, it's not me, it's not my family. In your head, they are fighting.
This is going to be the intro to the actual, whatever.
Yeah,
to the actual channel.
Put your phone on silent,
Sorry,
dude.
sorry, okay.
Well, I need to too.
You just called me out because I just went off.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna get better at this.
Yeah, we are.
But so we're introducing the "It's Not All Black and White" segment of this channel, which is gonna be really cool. And by the way, we are talking about like doing the ghost stories and ghost adventures type.
That's something, yeah.
That's gonna be awesome.
Because even that's something my dad is totally into, in that he wants to do.
With us?
Oh, he's on his own thing because he has deals with like Africa and like Jamaica, like places that he sells his book, because he wrote a chemistry book, and like he wants to try like some real stuff, like what is voodoo.
That's crazy.
And
okay, so that might be an actual thing.
Yeah, that at least I just want to like.
That's gonna be crazy.
Tell me what's going on. Like if you find something, let me know, dude.
Like, let me get like. Oh, we're gonna try not to cuss this off.
Right.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's just for now. And but if it comes out, because that's one thing I've noticed with a bunch of these young kids at school, that I feel like they just cuss to cuss, and like I do cuss.
Right.
But like I use it for
what is
for
SpongeBob
genuine things.
The word enhancers or
word enhancer.
SpongeBob.
Right.
I learned that from SpongeBob.
Like if I'm talking about like if I see some shit on the ground, it's not just a thing on the ground. It's literal shit. Right. Or it's like
different. You gotta,
dirty.
Well, they say like so to be able to cuss and use it well, you've got to be smarter. So people that cuss well,
that is true.
Well, but
or
they're more honest. Too.
Yeah, and there's like it's kind of a vocabulary thing.
Yeah,
that there are certain words that you know, like this is shitty. Like flat out.
Right.
Like I don't know how else to explain it to you, but that tells it exactly how it is.
Right.
Like,
yeah. There's more. It's like the snow. Eskimos have like 20 different flavors of snow, and
it all means something. Like this snow is different than that snow.
Instead of having to say slushy snow.
And you can know just by what they call it.
Right.
Like not just for us, it's just snow.
Right.
It's just
frozen
we
never
rain.
See snow. So.
That's true. That is true.
All right. So now that we kind of introduced,
you got to know us. Yeah. Get used to that. And that could be another thing off topic.
That's every time though.
It's every.
So
every
we don't
time.
need a whole segment.
Yeah. Yeah.
I guess we could. Yeah, we'll see. We'll figure that out.
Handle that in post.
Right. But so the black and white, I did want to just point out, because everybody's going to be like, it's not all black and white. Is that racist? Blah, blah, blah. No, it's all about like, he's more like left leaning and I'm more right leaning. So it's like, I totally just did that backwards. I guess it would make sense to them.
Oh, yeah. As far as you're concerned, it is.
I should not have done that.
Yeah. And even with that black and white thing, like as my whole loose understanding of things is that technically, if you want to break it down, everything is black and white. Like purple is just more black than white.
Oh, yes.
To whereas yellow is more white than black. So, but that's how, if you tell me anything.
Oh, yeah.
Like my mom calls me a contrarian. Because If you
that
if you
definitely
say
makes sense.
don't go there, I'm gonna say let me go there first. Let me see what's going down.
Why should I not go there?
Yeah.
No, I can definitely see that about you. Yes. But so this, I guess now we kind of have to explain where we're going and why this part of this show, or show, segment, channel, whatever we want to call it.
Yeah.
It's all about discussing real life things from different perspectives, and we're going to be talking about everything. From the coronavirus to race. That one's going to be a fun one for y'all, probably.
Right. And if we miss something, that's
Right.
where we need people to like. There's nothing that's off topic. There's nothing that we would say, oh, I can't talk about that.
Oh no, definitely not.
Like
there's things that we've already talked about that I'm not supposed to talk about.
Right. We are not supposed to even think about. That's part of what makes this thing go.
Yeah. This is very true. And this is why this is going to be such a success. So y'all better get on early. I guess that's kind of... Yeah, I already said it's
and you can kind of tell who's more organized.
This time.
That at least you have just stuff that I'm just out here freeballing, man. I'm like, but know that you have a pen and paper ready, things that we both contributed to.
Right,
and the idea, like, they're
I
genuine.
carry this with me now. It took me forever to remember to grab it.
Yeah.
But now I carry it everywhere. Yeah.
Okay.
So next video, y'all will get to see the studio that we are using.
Right.
Like,
Yeah, this is just a temporary in my play. This is really my room.
Right. You're sitting on his bed right now.
You are on my bed.
That's where he touches himself at night.
Easy. Man, it's like a knife right in, because he's not lying, but like easy.
You're right. Don't make them think about that.
Yeah.
It's okay. I'm sorry.
And Red Stripe, another connection to we're in my place, and I am. Oh, this is the right side. I am. You can see. We'll fix that in post. But I am 100% Jamaican. Like, both of my parents have Jamaican accents. Like, they were born and raised there. Right. So that's another.
At some point, you'll probably hear him on a video.
Yeah. At some point. Sure. Yeah. 100%.
Yeah. They're really cool. I just met his mom today, but I met his dad last week.
Right.
Really cool people. Really cool people.
And I appreciate that, man.
No, definitely. And by the way, I forgot to say, my family said hi. So
and I always make sure they know, like, I love your family. Every single one of them, man.
They're crazy, but yeah. I love them too.
That's how. But that's how you hadn't seen. If you think my family's not crazy, you got another thing coming. There's a little crazy stories. There's, it gets crazy. It gets funky, right?
Right.
And if not, that's crazy.
Right.
If you never come undone.
Yeah.
Now that's another thing.
About you,
that's like, are you always this calm?
Right.
Like, that's a problem.
This is very true. I was gonna say too. I don't know why. So the way our brains work is one of us thinks of something random at different times. So I walked outside. The flowers are coming out now, bro. I love it. And the bees. They're everywhere.
Bees. That's a whole other.
It was so cool because I walked under one of my trees that's blooming, and it was just bzzz, and I looked up and there's like thousands of bees just traveling.
And it's cool that, like, because in my brain I'm like afraid of bees, just because of, like, I have no reason. I was attacked by wasps when I was a little boy. But that's just, it's something that bees don't really mess with us. If you don't mess with them,
no.
like, they're fine.
Right.
They're just making honey.
Yeah.
They're
I've
chill.
captured, I think I told you, probably like 5 hives now.
Mm-hmm.
And it's actually pretty fun, but they won't sting you for no reason. Now, they'll get agitated after a while because you're like cutting their hive down and putting it in a box.
And that makes sense.
Right,
Like,
but they usually, they won't do that. But now once you get stung by one, the rest are more likely to sting you. But as long as the Africanized bees don't
that's
keep spreading.
And that's a
what
whole.
terrifies me.
That's another subject. Is
Yeah.
why the hell are they even here?
Did I tell you the story?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
that it's.
It was a science experiment that I think Brazil. I told you the right name whenever I was telling you the story. I think it was Brazil, but they wanted to have better honeybees, and they knew that African bees make more honey than their bees did, but with less. So they were like, the scientist was like, I'm gonna go get some queens, run them back, and they had them trapped with they're called queen excluders, so the queen can't leave.
Right.
But it was like an intern. He was like going around like checking on them, and he was like, why the hell are these things here? And he just ripped them off, and all of them escaped. And so now they've been spreading it. It was a long time, not a long time ago, but
it could be
back.
by the time you see this, it could be that we have a bee infestation everywhere.
Right.
Like we're in the pre-times.
Right.
It could be by the time this is watched, because a lot of the podcasts that I watch or listen to, or both, it's like a few years old. So who knows what this will be watched. And it's like, what if they're in the middle of like a bee freak out and we're like, dude, it's alright. It's alright. It's just a couple bees.
Yeah. I don't know. It's like I've watched a couple documentaries on it. It's terrifying because especially they don't like the color black because the predators in Africa, like there was a certain badger, I think, like different things that go get it.
I should take offense. What are you trying to say? They don't like black.
Of course you would. Of course you would. And I'm the one that's raised.
Right, yeah. And there's a whole thing to like saying like this black thing. Like it's like, so what am I trying to say that like black is me? Like surely there's.
It's not about Micah. It's just your skin color.
Yeah,
they might not like you.
Simply, and we didn't come up with this. That it comes from some Mexican thing or Latin American like Negro, and then they're like, Negro, we can make that in. We can make that in. Now that's what y'all are.
I'm glad you said it because like I'm not saying it on this one, but you just.
Oh yeah. No, this should be like our G-rated.
Yeah, and I'll cut.
We can handle that in post.
Right.
We'll handle that in post.
This one's gonna be pretty clean cut.
Oh
just
yeah.
What's
our next? What's our talking subject?
Let's see. Well, we could. I mean, I have written down like depression, but we could do a whole video on that. I've just figured we just kind of go off the cuff this time.
Yeah.
And just to get something out there, because we don't have anything out yet, and
That's
people
true.
are asking.
Like that one teacher.
Yeah, there's a lot of people asking, and so if we just get something out that they can be like, oh, I see kind of where you're going.
Yeah.
You're gonna be very surprised though with the topics and everything else.
Yeah.
But if you like the way that we're discussing things, see, the whole thing is you can't get butthurt and offended by everything. Like, I'll say something that he doesn't like necessarily, and he'll say something that I don't like necessarily, but we work through it. The other day we had a disagreement, and we came to a common understanding of it. And I'm like, I like it. We both not changed our minds, but we grew together.
Right. And I like that it's like there's no fear of if you say something I don't like,
Right.
like I could just
I'm
say,
gonna get you canceled.
yeah, yeah, like it's like I have total freedom as to say like, hey man, I didn't like that.
Right.
And vice
And on
versa.
video too.
Right.
To where I'm like, oh, I'm not necessarily gonna apologize for what I meant, but how I said it, and then we'll discuss or
Yeah.
if it was completely wrong, I'll be like, oh shit, yeah, I learned.
But and I remember at the beginning of, and they'll see this later, maybe in like the extra stuff, that I do have a little rant on mouth sounds and how, in real actuality, like words can't make me mad. Like if anything, I want to know like, so what are you really trying to say? Because you said these words that I feel like I should be offended by, but tell me what you really meant. Like,
see, that's what I'm like, wait. So, let's talk about what that, like what you're actually, and most of the time, they said something that they didn't mean at all. And so, like, we're not going to get too caught up on the language part, but it's just, you can't take what's in your brain and put it in my brain.
It's
just not.
That's what we made words for.
Right. And then you have to like work around those and understand that you have to work around those to get the understanding.
And I've like a lot of the podcast celebrities or just like celebrities that I follow on social media that when they get the crazy hater just talking crap to them online, if they actually just like message them back and say, hey, what are you doing? And then the person always is like, oh my God, I'm sorry, I didn't know you'd really read it. I'm such a fan. Like, I don't hate you. And that's what I feel like. They just want to be heard.
Everybody wants to be a victim now. It's like, hey, if I'm a victim, then that means I have some kind of status. It's like, that's not the status you want, bro. Mm-mm. Like, you want to be victorious. You know, like...
Even if you don't know it.
Right.
You do.
Like, you just go.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be a victim. Like, gross.
Yeah, that's...
So the words, the mouth sounds, the only ones that I have a problem with. Like, you can say what you want to get about me, you know, like, blah, blah, blah. But if it causes harm, like, if I called for violence... Right.
Oh yeah.
Those are the only mouth sounds that I get mad at, and that should be prosecuted.
It's like we have the First Amendment, right? That's freedom of speech, but then like you can't go in a crowd and yell fire.
Right, because it's a call to action. That's it causes panic, all this stuff. Or if I lied about you, that could cause harm to you.
Right.
That's different.
Yeah.
And you know what you're doing. Like, at that point.
Yeah, we could play dumb, but it's like...
Oh, sorry, like, I thought it was true.
Right. Like, it's like, did you call me gay?
Right.
And it's like, it's all good. I love gays. I love everybody. But like, why do that? Like, it doesn't matter. Like, I would say if I'm gay. Like, that would... And honestly, this is a side note. That is like...
I am gay, though. I thought he was coming out of the closet.
What if there would be a time... But I've thought about it, to be like a gay dude. That is the best.
Oh, yeah.
That just whatever, like...
The easiest path forward, like... You know? Like,
yeah, like,
dude.
You're
just best bros with your best bro.
Dude, all you do is hang out. Like, maybe, you know, you go to bed together, have a good time. Like, yeah. Like, I hate the fact that I'm so attracted to women.
I know.
And I do things that I don't like. If it was up to me, I would never shower. I would never, like, make my bed, which I did. It's only because there might be... there's a chance that a girl might come in, and she was like, "Oh, that's got to be in order." And it's like, okay, like I get it, but it definitely is that no hate towards anybody, anybody at all.
No, and if you can't joke about stuff and just be open, like, I don't even know what you're doing with your life anyways.
Yeah, no, it is. It is
wasting,
true.
You're just wasting your energy. All this. By the way, so you said, like, there could at some point be a girl come in or whatever, you know? Like, it made me think of this story. I don't think I've told you, but I just brought it up to my brother the other day. Or I guess that was yesterday. It is the other day.
Yeah,
whatever.
literally.
I was right.
Yeah.
But, so, in Afghanistan, there was 2 different people. So, towards the end of it, I was traveling around a lot. We were training Afghan local people to be police. So, there was 2 different places that I stopped, 2 different people, 2 different Playboy magazines, and the women didn't, like, if you put them side by side, they did not look the same, but they both looked exactly like me. And they were hot, by the way. I'm just saying, I make a good-looking woman. It was so weird, though. It's kind of awkward. You're looking, you're like, I'm kind of turned on by myself.
Yeah, but is that me? Is that like, huh? I'm
like a different.
I like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's totally weird with and I don't want to take the conversation here, but I've already started that whenever you see like trannies.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm sorry, there's a couple, if you get the right shape.
Oh, yeah, no,
and
definitely.
Stuff that I'm like, well.
I've caught myself, you're walking down the street or, like, you're driving and then you see somebody standing there and you're like, you kind of looking, their face the other way, and you're looking, they turn around and it's a dude.
Yeah,
and
no,
like,
that's what.
Dadgummit, I'm not gay, I swear.
Right.
Not that that's bad, I'm just saying.
Right, it's not bad. But I'm just a simple man. And there's certain things that get my biology going.
Yeah.
And if you've got a nice leg into a rear or whatever, however this thing goes, like, I could be fooled. Like, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That's what.
If you get fooled. And then, see, I don't know how I'd handle this one because you're like in the moment, you're like doing the things, and you think it's a woman, and then all of a sudden,
alcohol get you in trouble, man.
And then you're like, oh, that's not supposed to be there. Why is that there? Like, and see, I think that actually because a lot of transgender people, especially the ones that get killed, I think that's how it starts. They fool people, and then they go in there expecting this thing, and it's a lot of alcohol because it's usually bars and stuff that they get picked up from, and then the people get mad. It's like I can't blame them. I mean, I'm not excusing the fact that they get murdered and stuff.
Right?
And I'm
Yeah.
saying, like, you can understand. Bill Burr's got this thing. It's so funny. He's talking about like they say that there's no reason to ever hit a woman. I'll give you 50 right off the top of my head. There's always a reason. You just don't do it. There's a reason to kill that person that just lied to me about this. You just don't do it.
Just don't do it. That's what makes the act of killing so heinous. It's like
because or whatever it is.
Yeah,
like that violent.
You don't have
control
to
yourself.
Like, it's a loss of cognizance, a momentary loss. Where if you thought it through you think
you wouldn't do it,
like you would not
like crime with passion.
That's another good podcast, Crimes of Passion podcast. Check it out. If you want to give us some ads, we will do that. That's a great. Awesome. That's a great podcast. I love that podcast. All right, what's our next? Because we definitely got caught on a gay tangent.
Right? Yeah.
Like,
let's talk about something straight for a minute, just cause.
To average this thing out, this is gonna be like number 1 in the gay section.
And see, I hope nobody like hates on it. That would make me so. I would get butthurt at that point because it's like really, like I go up to people gay people, straight people, whoever,
Just
and I just
people.
talk, and it's like, if you can't just have a conversation, I'm just like, what the hell are you doing? What are you using your mouth sounds for?
Right.
If not trying to learn and better yourself.
Right.
Like,
Then
you're a
it's
disgusting human.
right.
just what it is.
Truly. In the same way, like I love seeing all this stuff about KKK people who there's a famous black guy who was on Joe Rogan podcast.
Oh, I love that
And-
whole story. It's so
Yeah,
perfect.
it's crazy that when the guy, he actually comes in and sits and talks to a guy who's like, so, you want to kill me, right? How does this work? Let's talk for a little bit, and then afterwards, you can kill me if you want.
Yeah.
And it turns out...
Well, at that point, they'd already had a friendship. They'd already built a friendship.
Right.
But then they, like the white guy didn't, the KKK guy, he didn't know he was black.
Mm-hmm.
And so whenever they met face to face, he wasn't even mad though. He wasn't even like, what? He was like, they were already friends. And he's like, no. But he was following this ideology that he had been trained to follow.
Right.
But see, that is the perfect story, and that's exactly how it works. Like, you just discuss things, and love always conquers
Right.
hate and fear.
It's
and all
easy
this.
to be racist if you've never met the other race.
I would say, no, I would say, yes and no. Because, like, if I was raised, I don't know, like, Wyoming has, like, no black people just about. If I was raised there and I never really saw a black person, I wouldn't be racist. I'd just be like, that's
But if you
interesting.
were taught the whole time...
If I was taught that, yes.
Right.
So it would be easy if you hadn't met them, if you were taught that. But if you just didn't know, like, you wouldn't be racist.
Yeah.
You'd be like,
Yeah, it's just...
what's going on here? You got something wrong with you?
Yeah, that's a
You know,
different...
like, because
it's a
you
different thing. Yeah. Like, this guy's hair is curly, mine's straight. How does that work?
Or maybe I got something wrong with me. Like, you don't know. And then, but then whenever you start talking, you're like, oh, okay, we're the same.
Yeah. You speak English.
Right.
I understand you.
Right.
You understand me. Let's carry on.
Right. Now, it would be weird back in the day whenever it was, like, two different languages, and you're, like, completely ignorant.
Yeah,
And
I
then
don't
you
even
just go and
but
you're like,
how would you even...
they're not even the
like
same.
when Columbus first came and talked to Indians, which...
Well, he knew they were people.
could-
You can look at somebody and know they're a person.
but just to like, how do you even? It's like ba 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 ba,
Right.
and then the other person's like ba 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 ba.
I mean,
how do you? Somebody's got to know something, and at some point you kind of have to say like this baba means hi, or like this baba is a smile, because a smile is across all cultures. Like,
or a frown or being angry or whatever.
that's something we learned in class,
Yeah,
that these
that's exactly
faces, it doesn't matter where you are.
Even as
you
babies,
can see,
you know it.
You can see an angry guy
Right.
in
You're like-
China, in Africa, or in South America. If
Yeah.
somebody's pissed, I can tell.
Right.
I can tell.
Now, some
by
people
how they
have the
look.
resting bitch face, though. Like,
That
that's
is
a little bit
true.
different.
That's
but
something that
you
my
stay past it.
sister
Yeah.
definitely
Just
has. She has. Well, that's a little extreme.
She's going to see this and be like,
There's always like, but that's the thing with women, that like that's what guys tend to always say. It's like, oh, you look so much prettier when you smile. You should smile more. Like, that's kind of like that's a weird thing, because if a guy...
That's all the sexual evolutionary psychology stuff. That's what it is. You're like, oh, you look better whenever you're not angry at me. Or I can tell that you're happy.
But we have that preconceived notion that, like, if we were to see that same face on a guy, like, we think, oh, that guy's for serious. Like, he's not messing around.
Yeah.
Don't mess around with that guy.
Yeah.
But when you see it on a girl, you're like, oh, that is a bitch. Like, don't talk to her.
Well, that's
But that's
those
just
mouth sounds
the
that we
subtle,
came up with.
yeah, just the subtle sexism that.
I don't know about sexism. Because there is a difference between males and females. So it's like, I wouldn't say it's sexism, it's just like it's not sexist. Like,
Oh, I think so.
it's the same thing as like knowing that you're black and me white. So there are differences, but not in who we are.
See, I think that's where bringing something else up that has nothing to do with the male and female dynamic.
Now, some of the dynamics, and they're changing. It's going to take a minute. I mean, it started changing pretty much very recently, relatively, in the history. So, like, things are growing very, very quickly. They're moving forward. But I don't think, like, being militant about it is going to solve anything. That just makes people want to be rebellious against that. You know? I think
it takes both sides. Like, you need that guy that's tough on things, and you need that guy who's like, I don't care.
But everybody's got to be open and
Right.
honest and discuss. Like, that, you can't be. That's all I was saying was not militant. Like, a lot of like the feminist crowd, they're like against men. That's different, you know.
That's like the opposite. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
You could take anything too
Right.
far.
Right.
100%.
That's all I was.
Oh
to
yeah.
do. But see, that's where the mouth sounds we have to figure out what we're trying to say.
We're gonna, ooh, that sounds kind of loud.
Right.
This one's quiet. Let's
Yeah.
get something at the middle here.
Right.
Let's figure it out. Because clearly, like, I know you, bro.
Right.
You're not sexist.
I'm not sexist.
Let's
I'm not
figure
homophobic,
this thing
transphobic.
out. Right. Let's figure it out. Because I know your heart.
Right.
And your heart, like, I don't care what you have to say. You can't convince me that you're sexist
Right.
or any sort of racist.
Right.
Like, it's like, let's figure out what happened here.
It's funny that you say that, because I know that I'm not, but I might say something that is offensive. I hate that word, but sometimes it's accurate, I guess. But it's like, if you don't like that, just tell me why you don't like that.
Yeah,
Like, I mean, like you said tranny earlier. Like, I don't think that anybody should be...
that's one of those. That's a...
Right, it's just, or saying gay, or we talked about fag the other day.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we know that people don't like that, and so you don't use it. But like tranny, I've never met a transgender and talked to them, right? Like, about real
No,
things
I've
that.
really...
And so...
I've seen them before, but
Yes.
I've never actually...
I've talked to one in person, but I've never... Just one. But it wasn't about anything deep. And so it's like... You can't ask,
really
like,
get a barometer
right.
on the person.
So you don't know if that's a wrong thing to say or not. But if it is, all you gotta say is like, "Hey, I don't like that." And if I slip up, I'm sorry, but remind me. You
Right.
know, like, and then we grow together.
Mm-hmm.
Just don't get like offended by it. Just if you don't like it, just say it.
Yeah. No, there were times that, like on vacation in Barcelona, me and my sister just went out walking the streets. And we would go pick up random beers at bars. And then there's one place that you walk by, and there was, like, the transsexual prostitutes that were really out there. And I was like, it's like, man,
Yeah.
I've never seen one, but those are boobies over there,
Right.
okay? Like, that's a penis.
Right.
It's so...
No, bro. Thailand is
strange.
like the #1 sex capital of the world, and they just call them ladyboys, and they're like proud to be that.
Yeah.
So like we were, what's that place called? It starts with a P. It's not. What's that? Bangkok. That's like the capital. It's the next one. It's down by the coast. Starts with a P. I can't think of what it's called.
Philippines, maybe?
No. It's the capital of Thailand is Bangkok, and then there's another city.
Oh, I had
And
no
it's the
idea.
second
The only
largest-
thing I know that starts with the P is the Philippines.
Yeah.
That's all I have. I have no idea.
Right. No, it's not important, but I'm just saying, like, so we, walking through the streets, It's like, so you had certain streets that you knew, don't go down there unless you're looking for that, you know? But they were still out and about, and you could recognize them pretty easy. But at the same time, like, some Asian males look pretty feminine. Like, if they're, especially over in that part, they kind of look the same. And that's not racist, by the way.
Yeah, but you understand, it does,
Yes.
It sounds
Oh,
like
no. That's why I had to just
yeah. Preface
know,
that.
where was that? I think South Korea. So they actually had like two soccer teams competing, and it was like a championship. So one of the coaches on one side, he was like, they all look the same. So he just made them switch their jerseys. And so the other team was completely thrown off because they thought that they were going after like the top player, but it was like the worst player because they didn't know. And so it's like, it's not really racist to say that, you know, but you can't get offended by it.
Yeah,
you know,
it's weird because it's like, I don't know about that example. It's like the Asians could definitely tell. Like, that's how even
these teams didn't.
We're gonna have to. We'll double check on that. I think there's more to it than that. But at the same way, like, to me, orangutans or just any sort of animal, they look the same. But to that child of that creature, it can definitely pick out, like, this is my mom. This is my brother. This, like, they could tell. It's when you're on the outside, it might be a little tough to distinguish, but I don't know. It's like with black people, how they say all black people look alike.
No,
but to blacks, like, I could definitely tell the difference. But to some people, like, if you're not black, I get it.
Look, maybe it was. That's what it was. Okay, they were playing a team in Russia.
Okay, yeah, that makes a little sense. I mean, I get it. But that is unbelievable. Like, Asians, they could right. They could see the difference.
Yeah,
the same way.
I mean, like, so I wasn't raised with a whole bunch of black people or Asian people or Latino. Well, I guess there's a lot more because I was in Texas. Latino people, you know, like, you can tell more of a difference in people that you're around. But still, there's a lot of white people. I forget faces real fast, anyways, and so, like, you just look like that other guy that I met or whatever, you know, because I don't remember faces very well. But I wouldn't say that everybody looks the same. But at the same time, I'm not going to distinguish between who's who because I just don't know you well enough.
But on the outside, like, if you, like, or for my group of friends that I grew up with, I could tell them from even a mile away. To whereas if you get some,
them,
right? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, because I could tell you a mile away. I'd be like,
know them, know their type. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So, regardless, any team, you could say Asian, African, or
this is true.
I read out of races. If they switch jerseys, like, it would be tough to figure out who's who. Is that really number 11? Is that Mr. What's his name? Like, it's...
What's funny is, to me, so even if I got it wrong, obviously, but if it was two Asian teams, there we go, it's like, not players, not companies, what is the word that I'm looking for? Or two Russian ones, or two American ones, they're all the same color, same race, whatever. I still wouldn't, like, if you switch jerseys, I would just go off the jerseys. I wouldn't even know, you know, like...
Right.
Because you don't know those people.
Yeah, like, if you spend time around it, but, like, if you were coming at it, if I was on that team, I'd be like...
I would know you. I'd be like, hey, that's not your jersey.
Definitely be able to tell that this is different, but... I get it. As an outsider, like, all dogs, or all, let's say, greyhounds, to me, they look pretty much the same.
Right. But if you had one, you would know yours.
Right. Yeah. But even those greyhounds, they can tell the difference between
yeah.
each and every single one. It's
Right.
like who you spend time with.
Yeah. No, that's a very good point.
With that, because we just learned about that in
Yeah.
class.
That's
that,
who you're more like and more likely to like.
right,
Is who you
spend more time with. Like, that's who you love more, is the person that you're around more.
Right, yeah.
Turns out.
And you're also, like, pretty much the average of the top 5 people that you spend the most time around, too. So it's like, but the 5 top people is who you choose to spend time with. So you're, like, always choosing who you're going to be.
Right. Like,
Which
and that
really
does kind of, that makes sense, that whatever you become, it's up to you.
Yeah.
At the end of the day. Now, there is certain things, like, I can't be a basketball player. Like, I can't choose that. There's...
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, but there's
This
certain guys...
You could, I mean, like, if you wanted to, you could be in, like, don't take your medicine anymore, be in a wheelchair and play
Right, but
basketball
that's...
that way.
I don't see them... Those aren't basketball players to be... Those are Paralympians.
It's a different... Yes.
Right, that's
a different...
That's a totally different sport.
Good call.
But when it comes to this sort of thing, there are men who were, it's almost like they can't get away from it.
Yeah.
So guys who are just bored 7 foot tall.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like...
You pretty much could be anytime you wanted.
Right, that's what, and it's...
You
sorry.
don't have to be good.
Like, even one of my good friends, Aaron, he is 6'11". And my coach always tried to get me to have him be on the baseball team.
Yeah.
So it was like, dude, if you focus in, you could be the best pitcher in the entire world.
Yeah.
By the time you stretch out, you're already halfway to the plate, man.
Yeah.
Like, you got it. But he's a golfer. Flat out.
Yeah.
Like, we could try. And
Yeah.
it's always there. Like, if you're 6'11", we can figure out a way to, like, I can give you
Anywhere
some
you
lessons.
choose.
Yeah.
Right.
You can figure it out. But there's guys like our teacher who's 5'5".
I think he's like 5'4".
Or 5'4", yeah. And it's like...
Because I'm 5'6", I'm short.
It's like, sorry, man. That's just the way the cookie crumbles.
But he's an intellectual.
Oh, yeah.
He's making a lot of money.
Oh, yeah. Like, he figured it out.
Yeah.
He figured
You
it
just
out.
go with what, and plus what interests you.
Mm-hmm.
Like if what interests you, or him, if he wanted to be a basketball player, he'd figure it out. He would have to work a lot harder than somebody that's 7 foot.
Yeah.
But you just figure it out.
Yeah,
I
for
think
me, it's that much.
I think on that note, let's
Keep
take a
going.
break. real quick.
Which, by the way,
That
we
we
do
post.
need to... Yeah, we at some point, we're going to talk to my friend. That even if it's not the intro song, just to have a song. Like, that's
Right.
like, something that's made for us.
I really want the Walker Texas Ranger one.
Oh, yeah.
Like
Yeah.
$100.
But that is like, because I've seen so many things, like, depending on where you put it, that it's just like algorithms. They're like, if they hear that, then
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like, they just snip it.
All we gotta do is be close enough to the original, or we could even ask for permission.
Right, but that's a whole, if we can get that, like,
That'd be super
yeah.
awesome.
But I don't even, who,
What if we got Chuck Norris to sing it? Because he sings the original, right?
dude,
How cool
any
would that
sort of Chuck Norris correlation, yes, dude.
Eventually, we'll be famous.
Yeah, we'll be like, hey, Chuck. Like, here, like, because, he's out there working. He's out there selling a Bowflex. Like,
Oh yeah, he is.
hey, man. Yeah.
All right, so I guess let's actually like have this introduction.
Yeah,
start
yeah.
now.
Wait, is it recording?
It is recording.
Okay.
So all that's on there. We'll put that in.
Yeah, all that. We'll cut that later. That'll be cut, man. Like, we'll handle that in post.
Right. Yeah. See, that'll be probably I'll cut it just from where we actually make the introduction and put it on the backside.
And
Okay.
this will be like extra, like,
Right, a little bit of...
you know, bloopers or
Right,
something.
yeah.
Like,
All right, so we were just tying up this last little bit here because we're going to go play pool and drink a little bit of beer.
drink a little bit.
So we're not going to come back right this second with anything extra. And we also wanted to keep the first video kind of short so that y'all
Right.
will
Yeah.
watch it.
Yeah.
Like,
That's one good thing about our talks. It's not like wasted time.
right, yeah. We're
If
not
we
just
had
sitting there
any
doing-
conversation, something was said. I don't remember exactly, but I just know.
I don't remember like the last thing I said like 30 seconds ago.
Yeah.
Because I'm just moving.
Yeah,
You gotta
I
move
have
forward.
I have faith in our conversation.
Right, yeah.
That
Yeah.
something.
I don't even want to
something
watch
was
this
said.
before I post it
It's
and
gonna
just
be-
like see what happens.
Yeah.
We'll see how
We'll
it
see.
goes.
We'll see.
But yeah, we will be back later, and it'll probably be a different video, but it could be tied onto the back of this one.
But either way, understand that this is pre-bar.
Yes.
Look at me now. Understand it might be a little different. Okay.
We'll see what happens.
We'll see.
But we'll be responsible. We'll be
Oh
safe.
yeah.
There are backup contingency plans. It's all good.
Oh yeah.
But we might be slurring a little bit.
Hey,
We'll see.
We'll see.
Come with me now.
Scoreboards. You still
We're just
haven't
gonna
seen
stay up there.
the scoreboard.
yeah.
We could have. Pool and I won in pool. Okay, I won.
He won
tonight.
3 times.
Keep
3
that.
times.
Yeah. So let's just keep that in. We're gonna look back on this, and next time
I'll
we
probably
play.
win every single one.
I know at some point it's gonna come back, but right now I have a lot of practice. This is the best I can be.
I was impressed.
Mm-hmm.
Scoreboards got my approval.
There we go.
And so we will be back.
We will be
And
back.
also you can sponsor us if you want.
That's true. You can click the link.
If you move it, then I gotta move the link whenever we put a link. We're not gonna put a link.
Not yet.
Not yet. That'll be like later on whenever we come back to all the videos. Because that would be pretty cool to... Actually, like Taylor Swift is going back and redoing all her old songs, right? So we could go back and like kind of redo all our old songs.
Dude, we'll handle in post.
Handle and post. We got you. Alright, we're gonna say adios. He's got some food to eat. I got some food to go get. And go to sleep.
Yeah,
Well,
and this
maybe not
is,
go to sleep.
but
until
this
like
is the
8:30.
before and after. I remember this is how I did this at some point. And I was like, all right. Or did I?
I don't know. I think you're just making some shit up now.
Yeah,
Like, I
think
don't
it is.
remember that
But
one.
that shows you that's the after.
Yeah.
I had a good night.
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun. And next time you'll see a better night, I think. Because we'll come back with some stories probably.
Yeah, the next night is always better than the last night
This is always true.
for
Always
progress.
And cut.